Hey guys, welcome back. It's grimreaper coming at you for another video for Raidshadowlegends. Hopefully doing well, and hopefully you are looking after yourselves. We're going to start a brand new series on the channel. I've been wanting to do this for a while. I suppose kind of out of the respect, and hopefully we can do this justice to our formal raid content creator who used to do raid and unfortunately doesn't make raid content. I think he announced it a couple of months ago. He's gonna stop doing raid content. I know a few people have messaged me to say, "Oh, hey, can you do champion guide on this one, champion guide on that?" I do get these requests quite regularly, especially on epics and rares, etc. So I do like to do them time to time. So we're gonna start the new series. It's gonna be I'll build them so you don't have to. I am obviously talking about Mad Kappa. Mad Kappa was a fantastic raid content creator, and I suppose I'm going to carry this on in his legacy. I've been looking for some ideas to kind of something new to pump into the channel, something a bit fun. And obviously I do P versus P in as well as P versus PE. So I wanted to try and help people with the knowledge and basically take useful epics into good content area. Not just epics, it could be legendaries, rares, maybe even commons, and so on. And I suppose a couple of the mythicals as well. But I don't think we're going to do mythicals for this. So first of all, what I would like you guys to do is drop your comment down below in the comments of what champion you want to see next. I'm probably going to release these videos once every 2 weeks. Maybe weekly if they start picking up in views, and we'll see how it does by then. We're going to use content creator perks to the full extent. So obviously we get the epic books quite regularly, and I get 5-star chickens. I don't get legendary terms because I'm tier 2, not tier 3. So I don't really want to do mythicals and legendaries for this, but if you have got some underrated ideas for legendaries, drop them down in the comments as well, and maybe even do a guide on them without books and maybe with books as well. So there is a couple of things. I wanted to start off the showcase with one of the new champions that I recently have 6-starred on my account. Before we get into that, I do want to say how are we going to select these champions. So these champions are going to be picked by my Twitch viewers. So on Twitch, we do marble races for 500 gems. We normally do it around about the 20th or the 21st or so to give away the gems from the content creator perks. So we normally do them on Twitch, and we have a bit of fun with marble races. If you're looking to try and win some gems, you obviously can go ahead and check out my Discord channel. I normally make an event in like a week in advance to let everyone know what stream we're going to do it. And obviously I try to move the streams quite regularly throughout different months, so everyone has opportunity of winning the gems. And obviously as well, if you're new and you can't make the stream on time, well, we're not going to give away the 500 gems of 5 winners straight away. We do break them out after like 2 hours. And obviously if you're looking to learn a thing or two, we do takeovers on stream. We do a bit of roasting sessions and coaching sessions, a bit of banter. And obviously we also do a bit of live arena on my account and sometimes on others as well. Sometimes I will give the viewers opportunities. So anyway, going back to the series, build them. I build them so you don't have to. We're going to look at 6-star in the champions that the Twitch viewers would do. So I'm going to do a couple of marble races, probably like 5 or 10 marble races. My viewers really enjoy marble races. I probably don't do them enough. So, and every time we get a winner or loser, depending on how I feel, they will pick a champion, which will go into a draw, which will be done on stream. So there's no fixing or anything like that. And then we're going to mastery them, build them, and take them into good areas where they'll be useful. I'm not going to take them into every area in this game because I don't want it to be 1-hour videos. I also don't want to try and influence people to 6-star champions, especially newer players who have less knowledge and watch these videos, but like, oh, we get 6-star that one, and it's not going to be the case, right? So that's going to be where to go. Anyway, let's get into today. I wanted to do it because I haven't done a video on her yet. I think Scratch is a big fan of her already, But I want to talk about ALIKA. Now, ALIKA has crazy multipliers. So she has an AoE here. She has 100% chance once but to put the skills on all enemies on 2 turns, which is actually, I think it's better than Basher in some terms of that. I'm not too sure. I think Bash is for 1 turn. We can have a look in a second. And obviously then she has a ignore defense here, which is pretty cool. And then she has attacks one enemy and has a 30% chance of placing an extra hit. So this could potentially be 2 hits. And she has a passive as well, but only works with her duo, which we're not going to showcase today. So I'm going to showcase 2 builds on her and how I would build her for this meta right now, which is going to be super key on you having success. And obviously there is areas where she is great for P versus E, which is my main reason why I would always suggest 2 6-star these champions, which is mainly why a late game or end game player would do this. Obviously, if you're mid game player, early game player, if you're early, probably not the best idea, but mid game, getting ready for Faction Wars, she is a great investment because then you can take her for Faction Wars, to Curse City, to also Doom Tower in these areas, which will save you food, time, etc. in the long term. So when you're always 6-star champion, there should always be a reason why you're 6-star in them, not just a 6-star for fun. I suppose from my level, a 6-star for fun because there's not really much for me to do. So just getting it up on here. So her A1, let's talk about multipliers then. So her A1 is a godlike A1. So her multipliers on this is a 4.1 multiplier. And then you also have a 6.3 multiplier on this one, which is also godlike. And then we have a average one on the AoE lockout. So it's going to be super strong. The multiplier for this is 4. So really strong multipliers. When you're building nukas, you want strong multipliers, right? I would generally be looking for godlike. Now let's go ahead and take a look at Basher, which is a 4 avoid affinity option to her. I did a video on Basher before, and his is also by 2 turns as well. So it's that same. I suppose Basher is still better as the control champion, but as the nuka, she is going to be better. Obviously, she can also weak hit as well. So she could definitely do 2 roles. We're going to go into arena and we're going to have a little look. We're just under Platinum Arena. I definitely wouldn't take this champion into Platinum Arena, so please don't look at it as I'm trying to showcase that. And then we're just going to basically look at her as a option as a nuker. Now let me go put some gear on my Cifi because I've been doing some other content, working on some other videos, and I've removed some of the gear around. So let's go ahead and pop her there so we don't get outran, right? And then obviously let me check my build on Armads, and you guys can kind of see this. Now I will make a couple of videos next week and the week after and the week after talking about strategies. We're going to do go second strategies, and then we're going to talk about go first strategies, how to speed tune, how to break down, how to break speed tune and stuff like that. And it's going to be really good. So keep an eye on the channel. It's going to be really spicy over the next couple of weeks. I've been taking a lot of notes, and I think this could generally help a lot of people. Obviously share the video if you feel like it as well. It really does help support the channel, but obviously also helps grow people's knowledge. And now for Siege, that's also going to be super key because Siege is going to be a big factor into everyone's content. So anyway, let me go ahead and take her into the arena, and then we're going to have some fun. Why not, right? This is what we do. This is I make a lot of serious videos all the time, so I kind of want to have a bit of fun. I should have really probably done a damage test with her. I don't know if you guys like seeing damage tests. Let me know down in the comments. I don't think it's always needed. Maybe we could just talk about multipliers instead of doing damage tests. I don't know what you guys think. So we were open with A3 there. As you can see there, we one-shot the Torment, and then we can do. We can also see that we got quite a bit of damage out on her as well. Now UDK will be a big factor into this, which is going to be frustrating because she's not going to have that chance to do with the second ability, it's not going to do much because he's got stone skin. So we're probably going to play the A1 now, which would probably be a smart decision. But notice I already had her in a one-piece stone skin, which is going to be basically how to build her in this meta, and probably the best way to build her, because she's a tap base. If they go before you, kind of want to cut in. She could be used in lower levels in live arena as well, which is a fantastic investment. You can see here, it's on a 3-turn cooldown. It's a really low cooldown chance. I'm going to try and do an A1 there. So the A1 actually goes into UDK, it looked like. But you can see that actually we broke quite a fair bit of stone skin, which is pretty nice to see. So again, you'll see that we dropped the 10 meter. I'm going to try and sheep the UDK now. We get resisted. That's perfectly fine. We got block buffs on us, so we don't have to worry about being frozen. Let's try and see how much damage we do to that stone skin. So it's about 1/3 through. Oh, she broke that stone skin, didn't she? Wow. Okay, so it's probably not the best built UDK. It's probably like it's definitely a high resistance because we already got 3%ed. So resisted on one of the abilities there. So we can do this ability again because they're basically locked out. We got resisted on everyone there, which is fine. I've only built her around about 150, 160 accuracy, which is good for like nukers if they're not dead already. And she's not the most squishiest because she didn't fall over there. So as we can take a look at her base stats in a second. I'm going to try and come back around for that strip ability in a second. Now, obviously, you always want to increase attack with her as well. We'll just play the A1 there. And then I'm going to try and sheep you. Oh, it won't let me. Okay, cool. And then we're just going to wait for this block damage to kind of run out. It's a bit of a long fight because of the block damage. And obviously the UDK is a bit of a problem. UDK is a factor for many, many nukers, though, in all fairness. I don't think we can one-shot yet. So we carry on. I kind of wish her A1 worked a bit like Candy's, in all fairness. I think that's probably like coding they've never picked up on. Because Candy used to work similar to that as well. Right, we just wait for that block damage. We can't sheep him because he's got high resistance and don't have enough accuracy on my champions. But it looks like we can do the A3. We have the increased attack. I mean, we've got some strong numbers there, I'm not gonna lie. And we can see there, gonna come back round. We're not gonna sheep anything because he's nearly done. And then we can see this A2 in action in a second. Let's do that. 130k on that A3, which is very, very nice. So you can see here, quite a tough team in like gold 5. This is nothing to try and sell this as like a platinum tier push, because this would be way too slow. 4 minutes is definitely something you don't want. But she could definitely do some work as well. So this is like a fairly squishy team. We'll have to be careful of Monkey and Ronda because they're both fantastic champions overall and both quite meta nukers as well. So I will probably do a couple of tier lists late in the next couple of weeks talking about nukers, support, and I probably will do different types of videos on these. So there we can kind of see we basically one-shot a lot of people. So we set off Resurgent on him, which is fine. I'm going to go ahead and sheep him so he doesn't cause me any issues. And you can see there, ALIKA pretty much took everyone out, as well as if she doesn't kill him, she definitely locks him out. So she doesn't need so much accuracy for like these type of teams because the resistance is quite low and you're basically relying on you to go quite first. And then you can pretty much kill the rest of this team off with like a CC champion as well, which is generally quite helpful. And again, if you don't have like many S-tier nukers, if you missed a 4th fusion, if you don't have that monkey, this could be a viable nuker. She's fantastic in Faction Wars, Curse City. I did drop a video on her in one of the Soul Cross Curse City videos as well. this week actually, so you could definitely go check that out. She definitely has a lot of utility in Soul Cross as well. That's why I do these videos, to try and bring you guys up to speed on all these things. So you can see here we get a kill, we also get a lockout. So if, for example, if Resurgent procs, this is a mastery, it has a 50% chance of proccing. Retrodraft could have cleansed off the stun and then revived someone, which is not what we want to see. But again, because she's got affinity, she gets a lockout, and we're basically able to add extra CC to our will. There's not much we can really do now because we can't remove Unkillable, unfortunately. And I suppose the downside of ALIKA is she likes her books, right? She likes to read, basically. We're gonna wait for this to kind of just run out. You can see there she's got quite a bit of damage coming through. I think it was 145,000 on the E1 there, which is insane for a epic. Anyway, so there's another one as well. This is a very difficult team, a bit frustrating with this champion, Piggy Wiggy. He's also in Stone Skin, so this will be a tough fight for us. So we're gonna go ahead, try and knock the turn meter back, solve all the champions. Obviously we can't CC Leo, but what we can do is we can put his skills on cooldown, which is going to be a super solid option. So once we can put his skills on cooldown, because we're faster, then we can actually sleep him and stun him after that as well, because of his passive ability. You don't have to worry about sheep with this champion, which is another good reason about her as well. You can see there was the mastery proc, turn meter a bit too low. That was a mastery proc, and that stone skin basically saved her from dying. If she didn't have that stone skin, then she probably would have died, in all fairness. So we can see here we've got A1. I'm probably going to try and nuke Leo if we can. There we are. Like so, and then we've just been warned by this monkey to be careful. Got a few weak hits there as well from Armads, which is what it is. And then I'm probably going to go ahead sheep you. Gonna go ahead and sleep you because we locked her out earlier. And then the A3 is basically come back round really, really fast because her cooldowns are low. Like, she got low cooldowns, and that makes her quite good against lockout herself, as long as you can keep her alive, which is going to be the downside of us. Try to keep her side, and that is the same with any tap-based nuker, in all fairness, or most tap-based nukers. She's not a Redis, for sure. So we'll wait and wait and wait. We're going to do the A2 there, 143k, and then we'll sleep Monkey and probably just sheep him, because Monkey is good enough to nuke us, right? Like, it's just quite a squishy team. I definitely don't have like a lot of stats built into this team, so I'm not gonna take any risk there. And then we just clean up overall. Now, because this was in Stone Skin, makes it a bit slower. And you can see there, we didn't really have any problems. And if we didn't have that stone skin on us at the start, Leo would have killed me from the mastery proc. So it's one of them things. And there's not a lot of nukers I can ignore stone skin at the moment. It's definitely growing though. Okay, so we have a Armad here, and we have a Taurus, and Taurus is very hard to beat in fights. So we're going to try to take this on. As long as we don't get feared don't proc, we should go first. So it does proc, but we're still faster anyway, because my Arbiter is still faster than his Arbiter, which is a bit depressing for him. And next week I was talking about a few strategies where, if you're not fast enough, a couple of strategies where you can cut in and use some of the champions to your advantage, which is what I use pretty much on a daily basis in Live Arena, which is kind of cool to kind of share. Anyway, so we got a 4-man team here. Taurus is an extremely tanky champion. Obviously, it's HP base, so even in the speed teams, it's very hard to kind of kill. We shouldn't one-shot him, but we should be able to take a chunk a decent chunk of HP off. Okay, cool. So we can see here that we took quite a bit decent HP off these two. I'm a bit sad that we didn't take our mads out, but I'm actually gonna lose this fight. I'm gonna come out of this fight, and then I want to test the A2 against Taurus, right? Let's just see, curiosity, with a 5-star blessing, how much damage we can do to a Taurus with that A2. So obviously, I'm already know I'm faster. There we are, fear procs again, 100% fear. Not what 50-50. I'm actually going to go ahead and sheep her so she doesn't cause me any issues. She's quite fast as well. Now again, we're not actually speed tuned as well, so Stone Skin really helps with speed tuning. If you're not speed tuned and you want your nukas to have more survivability, the Stone Skin is very good for these, and this is what basically most of the top players are building in Gold 4 live arena. Oh, that is a one-shot. Now you tell me that is not oppressive. That is a Taurus being a one-shot put on his ass, and he ain't getting back up. So yeah, super juicy. We're gonna go ahead and do knock her turn me to back. She should be still be locked out. Obviously, she's legendary. We got a protection set that's gonna basically stop me getting stunned by her, which is gonna be super cool. And then our Armads is gonna take control on this. And then ALIKA, well, she's gonna come in. No increased attack needed. She's gonna come in, get a kill, and lock him out as well. So super good. 180 again against Taurus. One shot. Taurus did not stand a chance. So even with like tanky nukas, she can do a job or two. Obviously, you have affinity. You have to worry about affinity. That is the main thing to kind of worry about. She's not actually really any good against in Harmony because she has a ignore defense on this ability, and she doesn't have ignore defense on the A1. So the A3 might be okay against her. She's good affinity. Don't think Barbarians is included in the passive, right? So this against Demon Spawn. So just Demon Spawn only. So as long as we're faster than this, we should be able to win this. Obviously, there's all types of problems in here, though. Like Mafala, for example, can be a issue. You can see here we've got a 6-piece Stone Skin as well. And obviously, ALIKA's looking a lot better as well because our Mads is like super strong and quite broken, if we're honest. So that's one thing to also be honest about. I'm actually going to just one-shot this guy there, like a Kaimar, because he will probably sleep me, and I don't want to see that. And then you can see ALIKA here is going to do her A3. So the A2 definitely very viable. If you have like a really fast Mercer set, that could also be fun as well. And then we're going to go ahead and do this. And then after this fight, I'm actually going to build her up slightly different. And then we're going to come back and absolutely have a look at her in a second type of build. And then I'll show you all the builds, etc. Probably won't change the masteries because we can still build her for a bit of damage. But we definitely will change her gear. And I'll show you like a different way of having where you can use her as well to kind of have a bit of fun and change up a few things, right? So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And then we're going to do that as well. So let's go ahead. Let's take a different style of build on her. And then we can show you the two builds at the end of this. So if you want to skip this, you can. I know it's getting a bit long. So I will try to keep it short and sweet overall. Right, okay. So we got the second style of build. I'm actually going to go ahead and remove Ahmad there has done a great job, but now it's time to kind of look at some different teams. So, for example, we have a Monkey here, we have a Ahmad, and we have a Pythian and a Marishka. Very tough team, very meta champion set from really Pythian, which is, I suppose, still around in live arena low levels because of bombs and people build them as a counter and stuff to bombs with high resistance, so I suppose he's still kind of around. And as long as we're faster, we can win this. Now you can see she's still in the 4-piece stone skin, but she's built for CC and not for damage. Now you could do hybrid. I don't really recommend hybrid for arena. I know some people like to, but basically using her as lockout champion. Now she's good affinity against everyone here except from Monkey, who could potentially still one-shot us, but that's why we're going to bring in Sigfrid as a bit of extra damage. Now, we should be able to lock out Armad here as well, and hopefully if this is not high resistance Python, we should be quite fine. Then we can put the skills on cooldown. So we can go ahead and do that. Everyone's skills on cooldown. And then I'm actually just going to hit Mariska straight away so we can set off a passive. And then let them come in like so. And then just try and control this. Now, if they have a cycle of violence or cycle of magic proc, the CC champions, then they can still potentially cause me a problem or two. I'm not going to go ahead. I'm not going to kill the monkey there because I prefer him alive until the end. It's just me as a person. And you can see here, we're kind of, because it's such on a low cooldown, we are cycling around to this ability very fast. And you can kind of see what I'm trying to do here. Now, unfortunately, they have come back round with that, which, it is what it is. There's not much you can really do about that. So we're going to ask our Sigfrid to do the 8-2. Knock down Mariska. They're going to revive. Sigfrid's going to get his turn meter. She's going to go in first. Put their skills back on cooldown, which is super good. And then Sigfrid is going to clean this fight up for us. So you can see here that Life Harvest doing its job as well, destroying that HP, keeping them on a back foot there. And then that's how simple ALIKA can be. Obviously, I have got a +3 and a 3-star empowerment, but she's very easy to get to a +4 as an epic, especially if you've been playing this game for a long period of time. I think we'll do one more. I don't want to do too many. This video's already got very long as it is. So I want to try and take on a different style of team. I suppose potentially we can, well, it's got bombs on it, so I can't really outrun it with bombs. And it's not a bomb video anyway, so that's one way of looking at it as. Okay, again, very meta team here. Obviously, we are using one of the meta nukers, which is definitely kind of needed against these style of teams. In all fairness, he's not too good against her. So we can also do something like this, which is a bit funky. Let me just check his guy's gear on. And do something like this, right? Bombs to kill. ALIKA to put the skills on cooldown. So she's a crowd control champion. And then 2 turn meter boost champions with a speed lead. That's pretty much the strategy to this, and speed tune as well. Now all of these are speed tuned, so as long as we go first, we should win. We do have an equal chance of going second because obviously our Sifi might be faster than me. My Sifi is fairly fast, nothing crazy for most standards at the top arena. So again, you can see here we're perfectly speed tuned, so they can't really cut in unless they have like Sonic or anything like that, which again I'll talk about next week with like the strategy videos I'm planning to do. And like this, now you got meta champions here. We can see here we actually got weak hit on in Harmony, which is fine because we've locked her out, right? So we don't have to worry too much about her. We can try the A2. If she crits, she crits. If she doesn't, she doesn't. Which is a way to kind of look at it as. We should be able to get back around to these bombs quite quickly as well. Which we're going to go ahead and there. We'll sleep her here. You can see there we don't crit, which is perfectly fine. And then we'll try just to get back round. Protection set doing some work. Again, another weak hit, lockout, which is perfectly fine. So she works very, very well in this style of team as well. Obviously, I'm using S tier nukers, but if you're lower level in Gold 5, you don't have to face these style of teams. But definitely, if you're like think about mid-game progression, you should have a one-man defense. I keep in a defense. To be honest, this is just a troll defense I'm running. in all fairness. It's just like fairly good champions, are fairly built well, but very easy team to kind of counter. Nothing to really kind of do it. Does win some defenses here and there. So you can see here we destroyed our Carnage for ALIKA. I did put some of my strongest gear on ALIKA. So you can see here, this is how I built her for the second part of the video, which was high accuracy, high speed, keeping that 4-piece stone skin. You can go 6-piece if you really want. I don't see the point of doing that 6-piece because the minute she's done the lockout, she's done her job. So you can see here we've got stats of 340 speed and then 573 accuracy. If you get up to 600, 700, that is way better to build. You can see here I don't actually have the masteries done correctly. So let me go ahead and pull you the correct masteries that it should be. And you can kind of see what's going on here. Let me just change the screen so you can see what I'm looking at. We can go here and change the masteries. And these are the masteries that I would probably run on her if you wanted to build her for control. I think Eagle Eye is very strong in Arena. As the extra Law of Steel, extra stats is going to be super nice. To be honest, Master Hex or any of these masteries don't really do anything. Just take one so you can take Eagle Eye. And then you just basically come around with that chance to do that A1, which is fairly good. And then again, you can come in with Wisdom of Battle. Or you can come in with, I think that's all the masteries there, Wisdom of Battle, or you can go in with Rapid Response, especially if you use someone like Sifi, that gives you like lots of buffs. Unfortunately, if you don't, then I would probably just go like this. This is a standard build for accuracy overall. So that's her build there. You don't also need to go Stone Skin if you don't want to, just running risk to be killed by the counter attack mastery, which would not do you any favors. So let's talk about her to nuke, which is what I would recommend to build. Now you can see here, I still went with a little bit of accuracy on her, on a build. And then you can see here, we've got some damage dealer masteries as well. Now this is arena focus for low arena and classic. Shield breaker is not so much needed these days, but I still run shield breaker because you have champions like UDK, Dutches, still very meta to this day, and they do put out shields which does increase damage, not just bolster set that works with that over them, all of them do. Ruthless ambush, super important. Now because we're running Armads, this style of mastery is super solid. We are going to get some extra damage. Obviously if you're not running Armads, then maybe you can take Slayer of Wrath instead, and then obviously Ham Smasher, etc. as well, which goes super key. Now, when we're talking about blessings, there is pretty much only 2 blessings I can think of that would actually work on her. Now, for P versus E content, if you've got 6-star, Christian Rem is the way to go. But if you don't have a 6-star, which is going to be super hard to get, then the only 2 masteries, blessings that would make sense to run, 3 masteries to make sense, would be Harvest Cast. Again, if you're using someone like Sifi, who gives you 3 buffs, then Arbiter gives you 4, this would be the way to go. So for my team, for example, would be better. Phantom Touch might be useful still, but it's mainly used for multi-hitters. So that way I would probably just stick with Cruel, because if you just use an Arbiter, you're only going to get that 1 buff. So Cruel would probably do more damage overall long term, and is more consistent in PvC as well, like Curse City and etc. So let's see how we would build up to nuke, so you guys can kind of see the stats overall. So as Arena Nuka. Now you can see here, because she's got Stone Skin, this allows me to be around about 220 to about 230 speed. You don't want to be too fast with Stone Skin, because if you lose the Stone Skin, she's just going to die. But if you don't want to use Stone Skin, then you need to speed tune her, right? Speed tune is super important and is going to be key. So if you're not speed tuning, I think it would have to be like 270 on my account, 280, maybe a bit faster. Actually, I'll have to be 305 for my account with Arbiter and Sifi Tummy to boost champions, which is like super crazy speeds even for my account. So yeah, 4-piece Stone Skin. We did get 1 piece of reaction as well, which is probably like the SSS way of building her, especially if you're going up against Georgie. But if you go up against Georgia, I don't recommend using ALIKA anyway. And that's about it. Hopefully you guys do enjoy this video. Hopefully this is fun, and hopefully we've done Madcapper some justice. Let me know down in the comments what you want to hear and see next. And that's about it from me today. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. I've been Grim. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.